At FIA Expo, John Lothian News interviewed a variety of market participants about the explosion of big data, what effect it had on the industry and their respective firms.
I think first and foremost, what we're trying to do is capture that data in the first place. And what we have today, and we provide many of these systems, is sort of a constellation of different applications, programs, databases that have come together to service, the post-trade environment. And buried within all those many different systems is very useful data. However, it's quite difficult to get at that data because these are all different systems, different technologies. They don't necessarily talk to each other that well. So we're spending a lot of time and thinking and money on building out the next version of our applications that we provide in this space. And as we do, we're laying the foundation or the groundwork to create analytical tools on top of that.
We're looking at it from the perspective of how can we use all of this data and simplify some of the decision-making process that are being done by market participants. Whether it is smarter algorithms that are being done or smarter execution tools that are being employed to allow firms to take better advantage of the market and market opportunities, to better analytics that will allow them to explain their trading decisions and explain their execution results to their clients or to their shareholders or to their investors, to the point of how can I use big data for compliance reasons to ensure that my regulatory burden could be met. All of those elements are something that from Fidessa side we're looking at and trying to improve on, trying to take into account.
It's really how quickly you can get data from various points, right? How do you find it and how do you move it between the storage and compute? That's really the problem. If you look at all of these various technologies that are being used, thinking back, say, 10 years, right, when we went from 1 gigabit to 10 gigabit and to 25 gigabit, the operating system is just not well equipped to move that sort of data. Once it does, it actually uses too much of the other resources, CPU power most notably, right? So now you have a machine that's really just moving data and it's not actually doing anything other useful, right? Once you get to 10 gigabit, 25, 50, 100, we're going to 200 gigabit next year. There's just no way the standard operating system can move that sort of data. And there's various kernel bypass technologies.
On the big data front, I think one of the things that we're seeing is firms can have as much big data as they want, but if it's not really accurately timestamped, it doesn't really give them a real view of what happened at the market at any time. So we're starting to see timestamps being a key kind of indicator of what people want to do when they put data into a big data system. Over and above that, we're starting to see more and more firms moving towards FPGA because they want to see determinism through all of their trading infrastructure, and that determinism is really more about not about getting the lowest possible latency, but making sure they have a really accurate and predictable latency every time.